Welcome to the Driver's Line. I'm Greg.
And I'm Jordan.
And today, we've got a conversation for you.
And our conversation today is all about what we're seeing in the future. Our Deathwatch of brands for years to come.
Deathwatch 2024.
Yeah, we should have been wearing black today.
I know. We chose poorly.
Yeah. So we're looking at brands that either their direction is just really confusing us, not sure why they're picking the direction they're going, or there's just some big issues with the brand or the branding itself that we think is going to cause people to just not care about them and not buy anything from them in the future.
Exactly. So first off, we want to talk about Fisker. So Fisker is a company you might remember from the past, formed in 2007 from Henrik Fisker. They made the interesting Karma, which was kind of like a Volt sort of thing, right? Except extremely expensive, but very curvaceous and not really all that useful. Yeah, so that company declared bankruptcy in 2013. And then actually split into two. And so Karma is now its own company. You kind of see them making their own thing. But Fisker came back with the Fisker Inc. So they are now making one vehicle. It's called the Ocean.
And soon to be the Pear.
The Pear.
We got the Pear SUV.
And then apparently they're also going to make the Alaska and the Ronin too.
Well, these are very interesting name choices.
Very interesting name choices. I mean, you know, Henrik Fisker is a renowned designer. Like, he's always been wonderful with the design. And, you know, the Ocean doesn't look that bad. It's a unique looking SUV, but like, I want to know what it offers differently than any other electric SUV. Really, there's nothing that's distinctive about it. It's not range, it's not power, it's not performance.
Yeah, I mean, it's got those lights and the C-pillar there that stick out.
And it's got California mode.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
Right, where it opens all those windows.
The windows, even the rear quarter windows go down, which is kind of cool, I'm not going to lie. But is that really the reason you want to spend, you know, 50 plus on an SUV?
Yeah, especially from a dealer network that is non-existent.
And that's the unique thing about Fisker in its current iteration, right? Is they don't make their own vehicles. Yeah. They're all made by Magna.
Right. I don't know if I'd be willing to plop down that much money on an unknown brand like that.
Yeah, they've only sold 3,000, I think, to date. Yeah. As far as demand goes, it's hard to tell the clear picture, but two of them have actually come across the auction block in Cars and Bids, and both failed to meet reserve.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want high dollar money for their EVs, but as we see, EV market's not super hot.
Yeah, it's definitely soft right now.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where Fisker's going to be in a couple of years. I'm not sure that they'll be around, but time will tell.
Time will tell. So, wish them the best again. You know, it's nice to see more competitors out there, but when you're not even manufacturing your own vehicles, it's pretty easy to close up shop quickly if you run into a couple pear-shaped speed bumps.
Oh, God. Well, maybe Henrik Fisker will be on board somewhere else with his very cool designs, admittedly. So we'll see.
Yep.
Moving from someone that has really cool designs to someone who has totally fallen off the design bandwagon, Mitsubishi is also on our Deathwatch list because, wow, how the mighty have fallen.
How the mighty have fallen. The makers of the Evo now make nothing we're interested in.
We got an Eclipse Cross and we got an Outlander. And so two SUVs that arguably play in the same realm. So
hey, but you know what? I actually found it. They actually still make the Mirage. I thought it was dead, but they actually still make the Mirage. You can get
it's still around.
You can get a 2024 Mirage in both the G4, which is the sedan, and the hatchback as well.
Yeah, but I can't imagine that that's going to be around for much longer. And when you're living off of two ancient SUVs, although one of them is shared with the Nissan Frontier, so the Outlander there.
Well, the Outlander's newish, right? It's 2021 when it was refreshed.
But I mean, by the time that actually is updated, they're going to let that linger. I mean, I can't imagine that they have the financial income to support that.
Yep. So the Mirage, I did look up their redesign dates, and so this is like when they actually had like a full refresh. So Mirage was 2013. The Outlander, of course, was 2021. And the Outlander Sport?
What was that?
2012.
Oof. Oh my God.
So we're sitting here being mean to the 300 a couple weeks ago, but Chrysler's far from alone in this category.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And I mean, it's a shame because Mitsubishi has such engineering prowess and history with performance and design. It's so strange to see where they're at right now. Just an afterthought brand.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to go and consider Mitsubishi against like a Honda, Toyota, Nissan even?
Yeah. Not many people, I don't think. So we'll see. I'm not sure what's going to come of that. Honestly, I can't see them doing super well with just the same vehicle, basically just a smaller and larger version.
Right. Yeah.
That's all. And one's clearly super old.
They seem to have no vision, no focus. So it would be really sad to see such a storied brand go down, but not surprising.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. So that's what happens.
All right, so next up on Deathwatch is VinFast. So this is actually a new company a lot of people probably haven't heard of. So it's actually formed in 2017.
Yeah.
They actually started off with gas-powered vehicles, but in 2022 they made a decision to go purely EV.
Yeah, Vietnamese brand, right?
Vietnamese, yep.
Yeah. Of course, every company coming out now is starting off EVs, but the reviews for the latest vehicles come to North America have not been great.
Not been great. So we're talking about the VF8, right? So the VF8 has been roundly panned by all of the automotive journalists in the United States, and not for like things you wouldn't expect, like random features or things like that. It's literally just the driving dynamics, how it feels to steer, how the sound it makes going down the road, how the suspension articulates, how it handles bumps.
The throttle response. Has made people physically ill.
Yes, because it's so jerky.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable that they could make a vehicle this poorly, but then you look back, you're like, hey, they were non-existent before 2017.
Yeah, and they started off, like rebadging other folks' designs and pulling in their resources. So I imagine, when you're jumping in and designing your own vehicle from the ground up, there's going to be some hiccups, but you would think that before releasing vehicles to the public like this, stuff like this, especially on an EV vehicle, where a lot of this can be tinkered out in terms of the throttle response with some software tuning, that could be easily fixed. But suspension, this is stuff we need to get ironed out way before releasing stuff to reviewers and the general public. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it's very, very disappointing, and they've got a huge rollout plan, for us. I think they're basically going to give us like the VF6 through 9. Right. So they're going to get a VF6, 7 that we already have, and then like the bigger, more luxurious 9.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah. It's not going to bode well for them if they can't get their first one right. It's going to really hamper the brand perception.
For sure.
For someone that's brand new into this space.
Yeah, I mean, that's a shame too, because they are representing an entire country basically. There's no other Vietnamese manufacturers that are coming here. So when you're coming out with a vehicle that's so half-baked, that's really a bad look, and folks are not going to be willing to stick their neck out on the line and try that out.
Exactly.
When people are actually getting sick test driving their vehicles, I can't imagine that's going to be successful.
Yep. Not a good look for VinFast, so
no.
Main reason why they're on our Deathwatch.
Deathwatch. Yeah, and so our final brand on our Deathwatch is actually kind of more, I guess, US focused, but that brand has literally 2 vehicles right now on the verge of one, and that's Fiat. Yeah. So Fiat's got that 500e that they just kind of released, but the 500X is on death's door right now, along with this Jeep Renegade Platform 8, right? Fiat's a storied brand, and obviously has a huge footprint in Europe and internationally, but in the United States, it just did not take off, did not work.
Not at all. And the thing that I think hurt them the most was their historical brand perception.
Fix it again, Tony.
There just is such that perception that they have not been able to get rid of, even though by and large, their modern cars are all reliable. The little multi-air 4-cylinder has been a great engine. It's been even used in Jeep products, which has been fine.
Yeah.
The multi-air that was in the Fiat 124, good.
Yeah.
Same as the one in the 500, good.
Yeah.
Largely reliable. It's just unfortunate that they got that reputation. They were never able to shake it. VinFast. See what happens when you don't do it right the first time.
Exactly.
And people just no longer have belief in the car. And Fiat just kind of seems to struggle with direction right now. On the pages for the 500e, I took a gander on their website. There is nothing around range on that little 500e.
Yeah.
There's nothing around horsepower on that little 500e. But what they do talk about is you can get a Bulgari edition, you can get a Prada edition,
Of course.
you can get like all these designs, which is so Italian, right? Like, I mean, that you can get all these like designer versions of it that are, special paint, interior, whatever features. But they don't talk about the basic performance of the car, which, I mean, as a shopper, for me, that's something I'm interested in. I want to know before I spend my money.
Absolutely. I mean, I also think like Fiat plays in a realm in the United States where it's obviously not super popular. I mean, all their cars are small. I mean, the 124 as well, right, based off of Miata. That's going to be small. You got your mini hatchbacks. I mean, even their 500X is not a huge SUV.
No, it's not.
And by nature, I mean, Fiat does not produce a ton of large vehicles other than like the Doblue vans and stuff like that. That's not going to be a thing here. So they're already playing in such a small niche. And then you're playing in that niche with a reputation that's already kind of harmed.
Right.
Very little brand recognition otherwise. That's going to be a tough sell in the United States. I mean, Mini has made a go at it, and their sales have been hit and miss. But even their models, you're seeing them get larger and larger.
Larger and larger, yeah.
Right? As years go
are
by.
getting kind of maxy in size.
Exactly. So I'm not sure that Fiat is really going to be able to sustain itself in the United States much longer.
And when does this investment no longer make sense?
Right. I mean, I imagine you could probably eke some sales out in Mexico and Canada, but I just don't think the United States is going to be that, and that's where most of your volume is going to come from, right? So you're not shipping over things just for Canada.
No, you're not.
So we will see what the future holds for Fiat, but it's a shame because I mean they had some really cool cars. I mean that little bar thing. I mean the exhaust note on that alone.
I know it was so roary and fun, and even the same for the 124, and just both wonderful, fun, sporty little vehicles, and which is embody what I think the little Italian manufacturer wants to be.
Right.
And now they've just kind of turned their back on them.
Yeah, it's a shame, but we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us, but it's not looking great for Fiat.
Not looking great for Fiat.
Yeah. So, with that said, we will continue watching market trends and seeing who might be next on our Death Watch.
Death Watch.
But keep on tuning in and watching our videos. Like and subscribe, and your support is very welcome.
And we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.